Hey kids, Ken here with Generation Red, standing instead of sitting in front of the stadium wall. That's a change because there's more room over here now, and I'll show you why here in just a little bit. But I realized that I hadn't taken anybody on any kind of a walkthrough in the studio before to see what's all really in here. All you know is what you've seen on camera for the most part. So we're going to do a quick walkthrough and show you and kind of contrast the changes and tell you how things were before and how they're going to be now. So here you go. Let's take a look. And right out of the gate, here is the main podcast area. There's the 55-inch TV I've had in here since I started putting the studio together. It used to be over on that wall, but I moved it over onto this one. It just seemed to be more convenient and easier to use. When I started sitting in front of the stadium wall to do the show, this works as my monitor hooked up to my computer. So let's go along the wall here. Of course, you've got a light here that can also be put up top there, but it seems like one low and one high works best for lighting. That's one of the single cams that's aimed at this other chair over here, which is where I will sit. This other single cam over here is aimed at this chair, which is where a guest and or Scott would sit whenever they're in the studio. And there is the main camera. That's got a 16 millimeter lens on it, so it's wide angle enough to be able to pick up both occupants of these two chairs. And those other two cameras both have 50 millimeter lenses on them, so they have a nice close-up shot of the face. It's a really nice lens for sure. Again, this is that other wall. This wall's basically been the same. That blanket over top of a table that this TV stand is sitting on, that's always been here since the studio opened, I guess is a good word for it. I used to have a 32-inch monitor mounted right there, but I took it down. The monitor's upstairs in the golf sim. This corner is different. I used to basically not have anything in it for the longest time, but I moved my mini fridge over here, which I keep an assortment of non-alcoholic beer in, and my rule football that my wife caught when Nebraska's introduced Matt Rule. He threw 5 footballs out into the crowd on East Stadium after some remarks, and my wife caught one of those. So there you go. There's my lamp and, of course, my guitar. And there you go. That's the stadium wall, which will still be visible behind us whenever you see us on the main camera, or me on the main camera for that matter. This used to be Caddy Corner, this bookshelf, but I moved it over that way specifically so I could slide the gun cabinet over here, because this other corner where the gun cabinet used to be is now Clutter Corner, which will not be visible on camera. So that's kind of the way things go. That's the way things are. We really, really like this setup. Now, I can't wait to debut it in our next show. That's kind of the brains of the unit. That's the Rodecaster Pro 2, my soundboard, and my stream deck, which I use a lot when I'm running the streams to be able to change elements and stuff on the screen without having to use a keyboard and a mouse. It's my current favorite microphone, the SC Electronics. I can't remember what model number it is, but it's a really nice dynamic mic. And of course, Baby Yoda and Mandalorian helmet are always watching over me. So there you go. That's the way the studio is now configured. Those gray coiled up HDMI cables that are plugged into the sides of those two cameras, they're coiled up and coupled to other HDMI cables that go down to the computer, so that I can quickly disconnect them and take them upstairs and use them in the golf sim for whenever we do simulator shows, which we plan to do a few more of those over the next few months. Not a lot. The studio is the studio, and this is where our show will live. But occasionally we'll go on vacation up to the simulator and have some shows up there. And who knows, maybe there'll be a golf channel popping up on YouTube sometime soon featuring that golf simulator. So some changes coming up there as well, some improvements and whatnot. So anyway, this is it. Signing off from Gen Red Pod Studios, or as the sign says, it's my Husker's Man Cave. Go Big Red, beat Boston College, and we will see you on our next episode, which will either be the 17th or the 23rd. If it's the 17th, we will preview the college football playoff, the first round. And if it's not until the 23rd, well, we will be previewing the Huskers bowl game against Boston College. So God bless y'all. Thanks for watching. And Clutter Corner, it's just going to be what it is. We'll talk to you soon. Go Big Red.